Who frickin' day, everybody. Welcome
Who day?
to a
Who
special
day?
edition of Welcome to the Jungle tonight. Wow, welcome to the jungle. I need to get better at that. But neither here nor there. I am Tim Daniel. Here joining me today is my longtime friend from school. Grew up with this kid for 30 years. Also has a Bengals podcast, so he's going to come hang out with me tonight, and we're going to do a special episode called "Bourbons for Burrows." So that's what we're doing tonight. This is my good friend. You can check him out over at the Talkin' Bengals podcast. Zach Burns. How are you, pal?
Um, I think my heart has finally stopped slowing down. It's come back to normal rhythm
Mm-hmm.
rates. But my goodness, that was a game. Oh, I
That that was a game.
yeah. I told the kids after the thing because they were like, "Why were you yelling?" I was like, "I had a lot of frustration that I was holding in throughout that entire game, and then T catches the touchdown to win the game, and I just let it all out." So, oh man, yeah, it was
I,
a lot of frustration.
yeah, I think this is the game I got my kid hooked. Yeah.
That's good.
Or
That's good.
no, it's not. No, it's not. What up, Sid? How you doing? Thanks for coming to hang out tonight on a Saturday night. Sid, you were at the game and you're still here. I mean, kudos. Love it.
Good on to you.
Yeah, being at that game about killed me. I,
Mm.
I for sure believe it. So let's talk about the game because despite Zach Taylor's best efforts, the Cincinnati Bengals are victorious tonight, 30-24. And there is a lot to get to. Now, I don't want to fully take away from our typical episode that Seth and I will do on Monday. We'll talk about the game a little bit. We'll get you ready for the Steelers, whatever that game's going to be. They haven't announced it quite yet. Methinks it's going to be the Monday nighter. I mean, the Sunday nighter is my best guess, but we'll see how that shakes up. But Zach, the first thing I want to mention about this game is that's really frustrating is we have to wait a day longer for Hard Knocks this week. And after a game like that, I need all the behind the scenes stuff.
For sure. Hard Knocks has been a great uh, season, I guess is the best way to put it. I'm this is the first time I've ever had Max in my entire life or anything HBO. And it was a great time to get it. So yeah, I'm gonna need everything. I want to see Joe yell at Zach Taylor, taking the ball out of his hands. I want to see it all.
Oof.
Because that game, how do you take the ball out of Joe Burrow's hands in the last drive? Better
Um,
yet, why is Cade York kicking on third down?
yeah, that's the thing that annoys me, and we'll get through that. So I just want to make sure we point out that this was a backdoor cover. So the over under this game was 50.5, and
Mm,
going to the fourth quarter, the score was 10-10. So if that tells you everything you need to know about the fourth quarter and what
mm.
that was like, on the Broncos side of things, give Bo Dick some credit. I mean,
Oh
that
yeah.
fourth down touchdown throw. I know that the conversation is going to be was it a catch or not, and the fact that he slung it in there between two defenders. And I understand Geno Stone has been very disappointing, but Mike Hilton fought like hell with Cortland Sutton for that ball.
Oh
And
yeah.
dude, the fact that kid put that on the dime, I was not a Bo Nix believer coming into this draft. I'll be honest with you. I thought there's a reason he was in college so long was because he wasn't ready to play in the league. And I am eating my words, man. He has them in the playoff chase. They beat Kansas City next week, who look like they're probably not going to play their guys, and obviously they get the spot that we're fighting for. But I am a Bo Nix believer, man. He was awesome in the fourth quarter, except for the interception. But that was just Joseph Asai making an awesome play to make sure to get his hand on the ball.
Yeah. Bo, I mentioned to you in our text messages with our buddy down in Texas that Bo Nix was on the Auburn team when Joe Burrow
I saw he saw
and
that
the
the seminar
LSU,
presser. Yeah.
yeah, and the LSU, and they lost 23-20. So in crazy fashion, here we are in an overtime thriller with Bo Nix and the Bengals. So it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be an interesting week going into next week too. Um, but man, that was a game.
Yeah,
Ta
it was.
take the emotions of just being a Bengals fan. Like even my friends and people that I have around the country being in the army are texting me like, "Are you okay? Like, what is going on? why are you kicking on third down? What is happening with your offense right now? Or what is happening with your defense? Why are you letting Bo Nix destroy your defense right now? So, but Bo Nix, man, he's a baller. Good for him. The same with the other ball that he threw down to Sutton on the other end.
Oh my
Uh,
God.
that was earlier in the game. That was an incredible play. I don't know where Geno Stone was on that play either.
I mean, if he hits Sutton gets free on that throw in overtime, we're having a whole different conversation right now, and that's mind blowing. But first overtime, so first offensive touchdown in overtime in Bengals history was T. Higgins' game-winning catch today.
Amazing.
That is the most asinine statistic, but also the most Bengal statistic of all time.
That is true. Very
Yeah.
true.
T. Higgins 11 for a buck 30 and 3 tutties. Jamar also hit the century mark. But our
Yep.
boy, let's talk about our boy before we get to T and Jamar. Let's talk about Mike Gesicki today.
Machine Gun Mike, baby.
He had a matchup advantage and took full advantage of that. And dude, we all know this guy plays hard and fights hard, and he will fight for every yard he gets out of for that yak. But man, that was unreal. Some of the plays he made tonight. So I mean, in overtime, even he has that catch. He fights forward for a couple yards. That was awesome. And then, just I like the fact that every time he catches the ball, he's celebrating. It could be like 3rd and 4. He'll get 3 yards and he'll be like fired up. Like that's my guy. That's the guy I want on my team straight up.
For sure.
Yeah. So if you're catching this in our regular Welcome to the Jungle, Seth and I are a little buttoned up normally. We're kind of respectful. We're kind of doing this whole thing, but no, we're just gonna have some fun tonight. So we're drinking some bourbon. We're going to take some numbers. Sydney, you're not allowed to say that, all right? We're not talking about that being T. Higgins' last Bengals touchdown, okay? So.
Yeah, you can't say that, Sydney. That's not cool.
No.
We're going to pay him. I don't know where we're getting the money, but we will pay him.
I mean, Hubbard, Rankin, Stone, and I think Pratt, that's like 100 mil right there. So.
Easy.
Yeah.
Jamar's going to be 40 mil. He's going to be, what, 25?
Yeah, snack box tea is a must. Absolutely, 100%. So,
Facts.
Dude, all right. I'm going to talk about someone who's super underrated in this game for a second, and that is Khalil Herbert because he only had 4 carries. Those 4 carries were humongous. 1, he comes in when Chase Brown gets hurt, obviously. 2, the Broncos come down and score at the position he's in because it's after Joe has to sneak, and he's the primary ball carrier. I mean, what did he have, like 2 carries this whole time with the Bengals before, like since he got traded here? And
it
it's
wasn't
like
much.
And you knew they weren't going to give him the ball a lot, but he took full advantage. So 4 carries for 23 yards, but those were big 23 yards, man.
Oh yeah,
that was awesome. Yeah. So
breaking tackles.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the cutback for sure.
Oh my God. So that trade came through pretty nice today. It took a bit, but definitely came through pretty nice. I mean, considering Chase Brown played every snap up to his injury. So hopefully he's going to be able to play in Pittsburgh next week.
I hope it's minor for him because he's been crucial since Zach Moss has gone down for the Bengals. But it seems like Khalil Herbert might be able to just step in and be the next man up because that's exactly what he did on all 4 of those carries tonight. So good on him.
Yeah, he was
good on
doing pass blocking too. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And then Chase Brown, 20 carries, 67 yards. Like you said, he had every snap as the running back until he went down there at the 1. So craziness.
Yeah, awesome. Absolutely awesome game. Mike Hilton, I know people are going to point out the Sutton touchdown over him, but I thought it was pretty good today. I really like Mike Hilton. I know he's not the best in coverage, but just having a dude like that who has no issues going downhill and will smack you is my kind of guy, especially. And like 21, you got to, if you wear 21, like 21, there's not a jersey 21 does not look cool on. All right. And like the fact that 21 on him was awesome. Yeah. My guy Snackbox is bringing the convo. I love to see it. Snackbox, welcome to the show. Multiple stops. They were big. I mean, I know they gave up 24 points, but I mean, realistically, after that field goal on the first drive where I was like, oh no, here we go again. Yeah. They were really good. And especially considering the Bengals just had no interest in scoring in the red zone. That was, really nice. The Bengals defense stepped up. Yeah, Sydney Hilton's last home game. That's a bummer for sure. But excited to how he played tonight. But I thought Hilton was really good. We'll talk about the defense in general, obviously. But man,
I wrote down I wrote down about 4 or 5 snaps that were really bad for the defense all game. But other than that, you had about 60 plays on defense where they played really, really well.
yeah,
They were downfield covering. That's where forcing Bo to get out of the pocket and go run, make run plays. Again, like we talked about earlier, Bo made everybody a believer and showed him why that they're now 9-7. So
all you got to do is Bo leave.
can we say that? Is that still trademark?
I don't know. But yeah, the defense I thought overall, I mean, I know 24 points is 24 points, but I thought they played really well. I thought, Bo Nix made some, like we talked about, he slung some balls out there, man. He made some awesome throws. And you cannot take that away from him. But man, that was pretty wild. So I guess should we get to the thing we're all here for today? And that's Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow, and T. Higgins, and what they did today. That's what you guys want to talk about, right? So send in all your comments. We're going to display them all, good, bad, and different. We want to see it. I will share them here on the show. I hope you are having a drink with us. Let us know what you're having. We're happy to share it with you. I want a little Woodford and Coke tonight, my favorite, just because Woodford is a reasonable price. And shout out Coke Zero because,
see, I have Coke Zero as well, and you see my glass is almost gone, but that's just because I didn't have enough JD left in the house. Should probably have made a run to the store before I got started, but
well, I text you. I text you on late notice, so that's on me.
It's all good.
I'll do better next time.
No, I didn't have time. It's not you.
Yeah. So Snackbox brings it up here. Let's start there. Joe Burrow, 8th straight game with 250 yards passing and 3 touchdowns. First Bengals quarterback in team history to have 40 touchdowns. 40 touchdown passes, I should say. Over 4,500 yards. The conversation that keeps coming around is, should he be in the MVP conversation?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, they're 8-8, and they were 4-8, and they have a chance to be 9-8, and they have a chance to get into the playoffs if everything breaks away. Now, albeit you're worrying about Joe Flacco in a game. You're worrying about what's the kid's
Snoop Huntley. Snoop Huntley.
He's the Dolphins quarterback?
Yep. Because Tua is doubtful. Yeah, Snoop is now in Miami. He's the backup, so it's gonna be crazy.
Well, I don't know. I mean, he is a former Pro Bowler. Don't forget.
That is true.
Oh my God! I just remembered that he was in the Pro Bowl. What, last year?
Is it? No, I thought it was 2 years ago. Because
you're right.
Lamar won last year, right? He won the MVP last year.
You're right. Yes, Snoop Huntley somehow made the Pro Bowl. City says I had 7 or 8 mini balls of fire. 7 or 8 mini balls of fireball? Are you just?
That's my guy. Let's go, Sydney.
At what point is it antifreeze? I mean, good Lord.
After the first 3, it's just like water. It's like you used to tell us it was Yeg in the back of the day. I could still never do Yeg.
No, man, I'm out. I'm out for sure. I am for sure out on Yeg. So Joe Burrow, now old ZT, who I'm going to criticize. Don't worry, guys. I do not hold back my Zach Taylor comments. Well, everyone was playing chess. He was playing backgammon today. See, the joke in that is that it's 2 different games. Joe Burrow, despite his coach's best efforts, found a way to win today, and losing his top running back, and all these things we're going to talk about. But dude, ZT had a nice comment in the presser today that I saw. I don't know if this is true or not. Someone put on the old blue sky that Shefty tweeted that Zach Taylor called Joe Burrow, and I'm paraphrasing, the best player in the world. And you know what?
It's hard to fight him. It's hard to fight that argument.
How do you have games like tonight where you throw the ball? He threw the ball tonight 49 times, was sacked 7 times, 412 yards, no picks. No picks.
No picks.
I mean, dude, 49 pass attempts and no picks is nuts. I don't think people understand that. That's insanity. 4 carries, 25 yards, had a rushing touchdown as well. Awesome game. And he's been obviously great all year. His improvisation skills are what make him who he is. He's the best, man. And anything he says should go. That's how I feel about it at this point.
You have to give him the Peyton and Tom Brady feelings at this point when it comes to the offense, because he's evolved throughout the season. Even if you go back to week 2 against the Chiefs and see how the offense has just progressively gotten better and
For
better
sure.
and better. That's why he's thrown 3 touchdowns and 250 every game for the last 8 games. So imagine what this team could have been in those close games, and not leaving it up to the coaches and leaving it up to the kicker and leaving it up to that and just leaving the ball in Joe Burrow's hands. We'd probably be talking about a different scenario. We might be talking about the 1 or the 2 seed right now.
Yeah, and tonight specifically. So, first drive of the game, they go for it on 4th down, and I love it. I'm all for it.
Love it.
Hate the play call. Absolutely hate the play call.
Why are we running?
Yeah, if I have Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and I need a yard, I'm gonna give them a chance to give me the yard. If he drops the ball or it's an incomplete pass and like Patrick Surtain has great coverage, okay, I lost that possession. That goes to you guys. Let's just put some defense out there. We'll get them next drive. It happens. Whatever. So, and then of course, you mentioned it earlier. Snack Box is mentioning it right here as well. Overtime, Khalil Herbert has that nice breakthrough, gets some big yardage, 3rd down. Bengals have never scored a offensive touchdown in overtime franchise history until the next possession, as I mentioned earlier. And Bo Nix is destroying your defense in the 4th quarter. And you kick the field goal. You take it out of his hands. And I understand Cade York hit from 59 against Cleveland the week before. I don't care. There's a reason Cade York was signed in the middle of the year. And I understand Evan McPherson's hurt and you need someone there. But there's a reason no one else was dying to have Cade York at that moment, right? Like there's a reason he was there for the Bengals to grab. I mean, don't get me wrong. He had some nice field kicks through his stretch that he's been the kicker. But no, I am not taking the chance there of losing this game because they did not give Joe Burrow a chance to win it.
Absolutely. Cade York, a friend of mine back in Utah, he is a Commanders fan, lifelong Commanders fan. He texted me after he missed it. And he goes, "That's the reason why he only lasted 2 games in Washington." And I went, "Makes sense."
Was he the kicker this year that had that like 9 field goals for them?
I don't remember, but they only played 2 games for them. But yeah, it was just craziness. Absolutely craziness. And you mentioned it. So if you take the 49 passing attempts that he had, the 7 dropbacks, that's 56 attempts of passing tonight alone by Joe Burrow. Yeah. And what only 3 or 4 were overthrown balls. The rest were drops of the 10 incompletions. And maybe only 2 of those drops were technically his fault because of just ball placement. Because you even heard,
oh my God, Jamar drops that touchdown. I couldn't believe it when Jamar dropped that touchdown.
Jamar never drops a touchdown. So, but we're off on 1. It is what it is. We're not perfect. So just kind of crazy how it went. I don't know how many targets Jamar had, but he had 9 of the 9 catches of the 39. So. He definitely made up for it down the stretch. Okay, and then
targets.
we haven't mentioned it yet, but what about Yoshi? Yoshi playing the ball well, finding
that 25-yarder. Holy moly,
craziness!
Yeah, that was sick.
Between him and Gesicki, man, they took the pressure off of T and they took the pressure off of Chase, and it opened the passing game really down the stretch because T doesn't have 3 touchdowns if Gesicki isn't continuously getting the ball and getting open and catching it. And same with Yoshi. So great game out of both of them.
It's crazy that Cade York got carried by Joe Burrow, the national champion 2019, and that's how he got drafted. That's so true. I always think, was he the Browns guy? And that's why you draft a kicker? Was that him?
Yes, that was him.
Okay. Yep. Yeah, I thought he was. Which always makes me crack up because the Bengals did the same thing. 3 tight ends get a catch tonight, by the way. So obviously Gesicki gets 10 catches for 86 yards. Cam Grandy a catch, and also Drew Sample a catch tonight. Obviously, those 2 catches were combined 10 yards, but hey, spread the ball around. That's what Joe Burrow does best. You mentioned Yoshi Voss, 3 for 59. Chase Brown, as usual, out of the backfield, 4 for 24. Obviously, really awesome. But what they were just able to do just to kind of keep things rolling, and it's what they've done best all year, despite their best efforts of the offensive line really struggling. I am for sure at the point where I never want to see Devin Cochran ever again on the football field.
I literally wrote that down.
That like last sack where you see him get blown by and he looks like he's moving in slow motion to try to stop number 99 for Denver. I can't remember his name off the top of my head from getting
Allen.
to Joe. Yeah, Allen. Thank you. From getting to Joe. And he just looks like he is just like his hands are still here. It's like when you run a screen pass on NCAA and they blitz and you have no idea how to stop it. That's what he looked like. Cody Ford, I thought with Orlando Brown coming back, which I do want to talk about Orlando Brown in a second. Thought him going to the interior, I thought would be better. No, he was really bad. He was really, really bad. Also a guy I never want to see on the Bengals ever again. Sydney, right here. I never want to see Cody Ford either. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, sis. I'm with you. But dude, okay. So I knew this Orlando Brown injury was bad. And I like made fun of like the fact he doesn't play football anymore last week. And that was mean of me. But had no clue. He has 2 fractures in his fibula right now. My dog is out there playing with a broken leg in 2 spots. And I know he had a false start penalty today. It was pretty good. It was actually pretty solid.
I don't think they rushed from the left at all, from the left side. I think it was solely on Cochran the entire time. Cooper and Allen both just it was like, what are we doing? So I don't know if I text you this, and maybe I text the other guys from Talking Bengals this, but I said you need to put Matt Lee in at left guard and move Cody Ford to right tackle and pull Cochran and just tell him to turn his cleats in immediately.
God, he was abysmal. I get he's the swing tackle, where you check, and I know Marius Mims gets hurt, obviously, and he has to leave the game. For the record, I know we're not really talking about that, but I think he is a mainstay. I thought he has been very, very good his rookie year.
Absolutely.
Also, he's a mastodon. Like he's a mastodon in size.
Massive.
Yeah. He is literally the Megazord is what he's like his size. When they like morph into the Megazord at the end, that is Marius Mims. Yeah, for sure. He is just a giant human being. People under the age of 30 have no idea what we're talking about. That's okay.
No, that's all right. It's on Netflix.
Yeah. We've had some bourbons, We're getting another movie, so you're welcome. You'll know what we're talking about here soon.
They're doing another movie?
Netflix got rights for another Power Rangers movie.
Let's go.
Yeah.
You know what? The remake from
dude, it's so good. It's so good.
Really good.
It's so good. It's so good. People aren't here for Power Rangers references, but
yeah, I'm sorry.
Watch the 2017 Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie. It's tremendous. All right. Take it from us guys in our mid-30s who grew up with it. Sydney's like 25. I think she was born in 2000.
My goodness, Sydney.
Yeah.
So, Sydney.
I'll catch you up. So, all right. I have no idea what we're talking about at this point. Okay. So
we were talking about Mims.
Yeah, really good. And then he gets hurt today, and understandable that you're going to take a step back there as well. And I thought he did all right. I'm trying to think. There's like 3 or 4 guys I really want to talk about their game today. Okay. I remember the point I'm trying to get to. We're talking about the wide receivers. So when T has the fumble, which I don't even know how they thought that was an incomplete pass. There was no way that was an incomplete pass. And I'm not mad at T because he had such a great game.
Right.
It happens. The guy made a hell of a play. Made a hell of a play to punch it out. When they showed T on the sidelines, you could just tell he could not wait to get back out there. It was not like oh man, I just cost us the game. It was like, I'm going to get this MFer back. And we don't curse the riverfront anymore. So I'm working on it. We are a family-oriented organization now. But not only did he get it back, but winning the game. And also, that catch so when they get the ball back after the punt in overtime, Joe throws that little out route to him, and he kind of scampers for a couple of yards. And you're like, just getting close to the field goal range. I'm just like, okay, cool. And then the catch before that was better than the touchdown catch. We're never going to talk about, people may never remember that catch, but that catch he made to get them down to the 3 Holy crap. That was insanity. They review
Good
it.
on him.
And they bring King's territory in to be like, do you think his second foot was down? He's like, dude, that's down. Like, it's fine. Like, he got the catch. And just like, what I'm trying to say is pay the man.
Pay him.
Pay the
Absolutely. And
man.
I love Gene Sarator's perspective during games, but all of these networks cut to him so much. It almost takes away from the game a little bit, in
I
my
agree.
personal opinion.
I
I
agree.
don't know. I may just be a hater, but there's just too many cuts. Like every play, it's a blatantly obvious call, or oh, this is going to be overturned, and then they still cut to him. Like, why? For what reason? But going back to T, that catch going back down to the 3, good on him, man. And I literally posted on our Facebook page for Talking Bengals. You got to pay T. You got to pay Jamar. I don't care what it costs. Just pay them now. Back the Brinks truck up.
And keep Mike in town.
Oh yeah, for sure. Mike,
Yeah.
Mike, he's a locker room guy. Everybody seems to love him. He's an energy guy, like you said. He celebrates every time.
Love it.
We talked about it on our show last week when you were on our show. That's the player I would take to bring back if we had to bring one player back from this team that is potentially not going to be on the team next year. So
it's not named T. Higgins or Jamar Chase.
Well, yeah, because those are obvious that they're coming back.
Yeah. I mean, once they did the agency thing, once they got the same agent, it kind of certainly started to look like the writing was on the wall there. And I don't know how it's going to work, but I don't care. Are you disappointed Trey Hendrickson only had half a sack tonight and they still, I mean, what was he doing? Like, was he busy tonight or something?
No, I mean,
what are you doing, Trey?
Yeah. I mean, I think they were double. I think they're double blocking him, which is understandable.
Mike McGlinchey's also awesome. I mean, let's go ahead and call it what it is. Yeah. Mike McGlinchey's very good. Wait, was he on that side or is he on the right side? I can't remember.
I don't know. I felt like he was on whatever side Trey was on all night long. So him and Osai split and him and Osai had that half. Cedric Johnson stepping up, getting the other sack.
Yeah,
we only had 2. So we talked about Pratt earlier, getting a big pick on Bo Nix. I really think that if you can find a nice edge rusher in the draft and maybe the second or the third round, I think this defense is actually going to be okay. I mean, obviously they're going to need help in the secondary and doing all of that kind of stuff, but on the interior 7, I think they're going to be okay.
I'm saying this is a true homer, but I don't care. Find a way to get me Ben Morrison and Xavier Watts next year, okay? Ooh. Find a way to get me Ben Morrison and Xavier Watts, because when Dax Hill's back from his ACL injury, I think Cam Taylor-Britt's going to be better because he's going to have him on the other side. You're going to have DJ Turner back, who I thought played really well for his injury. You're going to have
both did.
Yeah, absolutely. And so you bring Xavier Watts, this crew, who is a ball hawk as a safety, and Ben Morrison didn't get a chance to show how good he is because he hurt his hip, but is a certified dog. He's not as good as Will Johnson or Travis Hunter, but he can flat out cover. And I will attest to this because he plays for my team. Actually, him and Watts both play for my team, but that's neither here nor there. Last time the Bengals had a Notre Dame corner was Kivari Russell. I know a lot of people want to forget that name, but he had some nice moments. Not going to front.
He did.
Yeah.
Did you buy that jersey?
No.
Okay.
I did ask Chinadum and Dukwe to be on our show. I haven't heard back yet, but so I'm going to try again for that. Just kidding, giving all the behind the curtain stuff here. Chris Jenkins today, wasn't great, and that's okay. When Denver kind of had that drive in the third quarter to tie the game, where they really just kind of blew the Bengals off the ball, he was kind of getting exposed, and that's okay. He's a rookie. He's going to figure that out. I'm still extremely high on him. I think he's going to be awesome. I do think he's legit going to be very good. And Denver just kind of took advantage of the fact that he's a rookie there and give him credit. And then McKinley Jackson kind of was not super around today. Also, that's okay because he's been great all year for where he was drafted and what he was supposed to do. And I thought that was, sometimes rookies get beat, and give Denver credit for how they expose those guys. I think they're going to learn from this, and year 2 of those 2 dudes in the middle of your D line is going to be filthy. BJ Hill today, some really nice moments.
Really good moments.
I mean, he draws that penalty that on the screen he blows up, which was like double awesome because it sets him up in 3rd and 15. I know BJ Hill is kind of on his probably his last legs of his NFL career, but I thought was really good tonight.
Oh yeah, he played a really good game. I didn't have any issues with him. It would have you mentioned Jackson and Jenkins, but what about Miles Murphy? That guy's been a ghost all year. Kind of almost a wasted pick at this point because you were hoping that he would be the guy at the beginning of the year to step
I
up
was
with
really
BJ
high
Hill.
on him.
I mean, he hasn't done it, and it's kind of disappointing to see. I don't know. I think that's a guy that we kind of cut ties with next year. But BJ, man, he's still playing a hell of a good ball right now, and I'm here for that because I like those veteran guys to do that. Same with Mike Hilton. You know, Mike going after the quarterback is probably the best play that they can run.
DB blitz.
DB blitz, whether it's the dime package or the nickel, and he's just going after whoever. It's beautiful. Because speaking of, I think it was the second quarter. He was held up by the running back, and I don't know which running back it was.
Yeah, absolutely.
He was held up, and he's standing there screaming. He doesn't get the call. Much like, since we're going to talk about that call, let's talk about the one on the fair catch on the punt.
Isaiah Williams.
Isaiah Williams gets wrapped up, and he doesn't get the call.
3 seconds after, and then Trent Green on the broadcast goes, "I wouldn't have thrown the flag." It's like, shut up, dude. It's like, you're so mad that your 9-0 Chiefs got beat by the 4-5 Bengals, no 3. All right, I was at the game. I saw Peter Work's punt return touchdown in person.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
Shout out to Peter Work, by the way.
My dog, forever. I will not accept any Peter Work slander. So if you come in our chat and say something bad about him, we're gonna fight straight up.
Sydney, I'm sorry if you don't know who Peter Work is. Just go YouTube it. I promise.
Legit has a case to be the greatest college wide receiver of all time. Like, legit has a conversation.
Yes, absolutely.
And I mean, was unreal. And I've got plenty of signed Peter Work merchandise in my basement. Was the reason LeBron James were number 9 as a wide receiver in high school was Peter Work.
Nice.
Yeah, kind of cool how that worked out. That guy didn't turn out to do anything though.
No.
Didn't. Yeah. So yes,
you bring getting injured. So
yeah, you mentioned it. So I don't understand how that's not called as well. Like, I'm holding Iris and I'm like, what is going on? You moron, coach. And like, she's like, the hell's going on, Dad? Are you okay? Like, she's like hugging me real close because she thinks I'm sad. Like, Dad, it's okay. Like, Dad, like rubbing my back. And I'm like, we're fine. Man. We're fine. I got a really cool video of the touchdown of me and her celebrating. So
that's good. That's good.
Yeah. I got 2 issues with that. So obviously, throw the flag there because that's unbelievably stupid that they don't. And why are we letting him wear number 18?
Yeah.
That should not be allowed.
No.
18, 14, and 78 should never be worn by a Bengal ever again.
Oh, no, absolutely.
And now 9 and 1 and 5 should also never be worn by a Bengal ever again. Yeah, we're just going to go ahead and just do it all.
Do them all. Put them all up in the rafters.
Well, whatever it is. I don't know what it's called. The Ring of Honor is cool. I dig it. But
yeah.
I
kudos to the Brown family for starting that, by the way, because it felt long overdue when they started it. What was that year? During the 50th anniversary, they started it.
Yeah, I went to the first one. Ken Riley and Ken Anderson and Paul Brown.
That's been a cool honor to see and a cool tradition to see, especially since you can't retire every single number because there's been so many good players across the league. So
yeah, we're just kind of talking at this point, but there's 2 more things I want to mention before we get out of here. Ryan Rico only had 1 punt, but that punt in overtime, no, not in overtime, sorry, but in the 4th quarter was insanity. Was it 8 seconds of hang time? I think they said on the broadcast.
Yeah, it was up there for a long time, and I loved every second of it.
Yeah.
So probably the steal of the century when it comes to special teams players.
Yeah, he's so good. And I had no clue who he was because I don't follow the NFL draft anymore. Jermaine Burton's 38-yard kick return was really nice to see.
Yeah.
Overall,
he found a role.
Yeah, I think he's going to end up being fine. I understand why they don't trust him to get the Yoshivas snaps right now, but I think eventually he's going to fit that role fine. Um, he had that one catch early in the year for like 48 yards or so,
Yeah.
and that was pretty awesome. So I think he's going to be okay. But that return was great. I don't really love the new kick return. As a matter of fact, I loathe it deeply with burning passion.
Yeah, it's the
Um,
dumbest thing in the world.
but
Put the ball back on the 25-yard line for the kicker, and then just give us the old stuff, when Devin Hester would go back there and just return it.
yeah,
So
though the Charlie Jones touchdown against Cleveland was really cool this year. I won't
touche.
take away from that. All right, man. Well, let's go ahead and wrap this up because I know Seth and I are gonna do our regular show on Monday.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Just kind of going
Absolutely.
game to game. But final thoughts on this is I hate that they're 8-8. I love the run they're making. And a chance, obviously it's not a direct chance, but the possibility of going to the playoffs by beating the Steelers, I couldn't ask for anything more in life.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Love this. This is a great opportunity. And it's going to be it's a game for Pittsburgh too, because they haven't even clinched. So they're going to bring their A
They've
game.
lost 3 in a row.
Yeah,
Russell Wilson is a full-on cornball.
yeah.
He's a dork.
I was listening
He
to Tony.
could not motivate me. Russell Wilson could not motivate me to buy a ham sandwich at Subway. And you think he's going to run a football team?
That's crazy.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Zach Taylor could not motivate me to eat a meatball sub from Subway. But
yeah.
Russell Wilson's like, all right, guys, let's go. Like on Hard Knocks is like draining. It ruins the energy of the show.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think Mo alluded to this during the Tony and Mo show on Monday, but they had said that Hard Knocks may have been the worst thing to ever happen to the Steelers this year because since Hard Knocks started, other than the Bengals game, they've just been absolutely dog washed.
Yeah, and they lost 2 weeks for the Bengals game. That was the Eagles,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
yeah.
It wasn't the Eagles game. It was what's the Eagles game?
No, they had the snow game. Then they played the Bengals. Then
That's
it
right.
was
They
the
lost to the
Eagles.
Browns on Thursday night. Yeah.
They lost, and that was what started this thing. And then they came here, they won, and then they lost to I think it was the Eagles, and then I forget who the other game was, and then they just lost
Baltimore.
to
Baltimore and Kansas City. Yeah.
Baltimore and Kansas City. So
So
it's been an interesting year, that's for sure. So, but
yeah. I wish I could
love
hate
it.
Mike Tomlin because I hate the Steelers so much, but he's just so funny in that show.
Yeah.
And also he's just really good at his job. And so I can't take it away from him.
I wish Zach Taylor would actually take notes.
Yeah. God. Has he ever cursed in his life? Like, come on, dude. Like every time he has a clip on Hard Knocks, it's like he's never getting on a player. It's just like, all right, man, come on. Like, it's all right.
I say you're not coaching BYU. You're coaching the Cincinnati Bengals. You're professional football. This isn't the BYU Cougars where you have a code of honor of how you have to speak to players and students and all that other stuff.
Like, dude, like if I need like motivation, and I hate to say it because I made fun of him for also just having no energy whatsoever. I find the BNF and Pro speech from Marvin on Hard Knocks the first time the Bengals were on it, and I get fired the F up. Like,
yes.
Yeah, it's such a great speech. It's like probably his only good one.
That's true. That's true.
Also, one last thing before we get out of here, the Veterans Committee came out today. Willie Anderson once again on the ballot. Get Willie in.
Absolutely.
Get Willie in.
And I'm going to shamelessly plug our show.
Please do.
Because we actually have a change.org petition going on right now to vote Kenny and Willie Anderson into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So if you want to go to our website, talkingbengals.com, go do that. Also on talkingbengals.com, you can catch all of our other shows. We record every week. Tim was on last week if you want to go catch our show from last Sunday. But give us a good it's actually talking_Bengals, Timmy. So it's all good.
You guys make everything difficult.
Well, somebody stole the other one, so I had to do that. But we are on all the Facebooks, Instagrams, Twitter.
Here, you happy now?
Yeah, perfect. There it is. If you want to go follow us, go like and subscribe. Our YouTube page, everything like that. Appreciate Timmy asking me to come on. Sorry, I keep calling you Timmy. I think it's the bourbon and the alcohol at this point. So
I don't
We've
think
also been
anyone
friends
here,
for 30 years, so
yeah, no one here has ever called me that. So if anyone does call me that, I will track your family down
well, yeah, that's very true. That's very true
and give
because
them roses.
I do that out of love, only in remembrance of your dad because I remember going to Reds games with
Dude,
him, and he'd call you
that was
that.
like my first thought tonight was this game. I was like, I could not imagine my dad were still here. The text message I would like just the a roller coaster of text messages I'd be getting.
Yeah,
I miss it so much.
yeah.
But
I
I won't get you guys emotional here by any means.
No,
So
no, no,
don't
absolutely
worry.
not. Sorry, I yeah, you,
No, you're good, dude. You're good. All right.
yeah,
Well, we're gonna wrap this up. Thank you guys for hanging out with us on a Saturday night. We had 130 live viewers tonight, so thank you for chilling with us.
beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful.
If you want to check out Zach's show, please do. It's at Talking Bengals, Talking_Bengals on all the socials. If you want to see Zach and the late 2000s Boone County High School football team, I'll talk about the Bengals. That's the place to go.
And sometimes we talk about those Boone County Rebels too.
Oh man, that's tough times right there, Harry. Tough times. But dude, thanks for hanging out. This was really cool. I'm glad
Absolutely,
I got to have you on.
absolutely. We should do this more often.
Yeah, for sure. But we're gonna wrap this up. We'll be back on Monday. Seth and I will get to like a real discussion about the game and get you ready for those darn Pittsburgh Steelers next week. I call them Steelers for a reason because they are as good to me as a stole. And I will see you all then. Have a great night.
Who day?